Hello and welcome back to Conversations with Sharyn and Rosa. I'm Rosa.
And I'm still Sharyn.
We want to thank you all for joining us again for another week of conversations. If you're new to our channel, please like, subscribe, and share our videos. It would help us out a great deal.
Yes.
Thank you in advance. And if you're joining us again, we thank you. Before we get into our shout outs, you have any announcements?
You do.
I know I got announcements, but do you have
No.
some announcements?
Your announcements are my announcements. What do you got to say? Yeah.
Because I wanted to be the one to congratulate my baby on 10 pounds. She is down 10 pounds, y'all. Weight Watchers is doing it. We appreciate you.
Thank you. And for those who care about me, send donuts. I am hungry.
Whatever. Look, if Oprah can do it, my boo can do it.
Oh, no. Is that way we compare? Oprah got the best people in the world helping her.
Look, I'm trying to tell y'all, when I ran my first marathon, I said, if Oprah can do this, I can do this.
That's
and
true.
You know I came in behind her time.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
I wouldn't have told that.
About
I wouldn't have told that.
It wasn't that much behind, but you know, she probably had 19
But again,
people.
some of the best trainers in the world were helping Oprah. Not dissing, not minimizing. It's a great event, and it's a great goal in life. But my baby has done it, and you my shero.
Yes, thank you. But anyway, so I think that's it for the announcements for me. Just one other thing, y'all.
Yeah.
I am getting over a sinus infection. So last week I had sinuses. This week it is an infection. So I'm getting over my sinus infection, but I'm feeling better, and I appreciate all of the shout outs.
Right. She's feeling better because I had to nurse her back to health.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah. You looking good, baby.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, y'all. I couldn't do the lashes. It was just too much just to do
Too
everything.
much. Just do you.
But
That's right.
I had to get it together. But what's your announcement?
Oh, yeah, because we're getting questions already because we already, maybe it's early for some of you guys, but we are really into planning. All right. So we are talking about Pride and just having a wonderful gathering once again in the Backspace at brunch on the 16th of July at the Backspace. So, of course, more information to follow. Thank you for those of you who were here last year. See you again if you want to come, but there's going to be a whole lot more people because our audience keeps getting bigger and bigger. We'll see you then.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of things going on for that weekend too. So if you want to come in for Pride and you need some suggestions of things to do, we have other friends who are doing stuff too. So let us know. We can give you all that information and we will have a great Pride.
Absolutely.
This year. I'm so excited, y'all. I get too excited. If you want to march with me in the parade, you can do that too. You got to let me know and you got to be here. Okay.
That's right. Got to be here.
I'll put your name down. Y'all can come on out and march. But anyway, that's that.
Okay, so back to the subject at hand. Time to do our
shout outs. Okay, so first shout out today goes to Katie H. Thank you for being a subscriber. Also, Queer Stories. We appreciate your comments. I haven't heard from you in a while, but I know you commented early on in the year of last year. And last but not least, the flannel dragonfly.
Hey, it can only be one of you. Okay.
Thank you so much for your comments too and being a subscriber to our channel. We appreciate each and every one of you all. All right, today's topic is
broke or broken.
Yes. Yeah. That's what we're going to be talking about today.
Right. And we're talking to everyone out there in lesbian land and far beyond. All of you people who are out there, not just skating, but dating.
Yes.
And we know it ain't easy. So
absolutely.
So especially to, our people, and you know who you are. We're talking from experience, but today we just, with the whole dating scene, we know it ain't easy.
Yes.
It is not easy. We done, as they say, been there, done that. And yet we were very, very, not lucky, but blessed to find each other and get the connection, feel the connection, and hold on to it, But seriously, for you out there who are still dating and you go through so many. You meet them. I call it the MDD. You gotta meet them, you gotta date them, and then you gotta decide. Okay, if they ain't worth meeting, they ain't worth dating. And and if you don't want to date them, it's nothing to decide.
Right.
Okay, but if they wanted that you are dating, and and you're trying to see who they are, and they surely checking you out, you need to look and look and look again. So we didn't say it's easy,
Right.
but it is necessary. So that's what we want to talk about. Sometimes you run into women or people or men or whoever you're dating out there. You don't know where people are on their journey when you meet them.
Absolutely. Whoo.
So we're gonna talk about that a little bit. Now especially my sisters out there, y'all ever run into some broke women? And we literally mean broke. In the sense of just having unable to meet their finances. They're in between jobs, they're in between interviews, they're in between apartments. They're doing couch surfing. They change their phone, at least once every 90 days, for a reason,
Right.
and they broke. They broke. Now, our question today is, how do you feel about dating broke women?
Right.
And they're out there.
Right.
Y'all know what we're talking about. Broke ain't never got no money. You go to lunch and you got to buy for two. 'Cause they ain't even got tip money. If they got a card, it ain't got no gas. If it got gas, they got to park it behind your apartment building because it's getting ready to get repossessed.
That brings up a different point for me, because now that you've said what you said about
Broke.
women not having money and being broke, I can remember when I first met you, and I knew I needed 2 back tires for my car. And she wanted me to come visit her. And I said, if it's raining, I'm not coming to visit you. And the only reason why I said that was because I know I needed 2 back tires for my car. Now, am I broke because I didn't want to put them on there just yet? Not that I didn't have the money. It just wasn't, for me, that important because I had just met Sharyn. So, I mean, it wasn't like, we were like into the relationship where I need to come see you, need to come see me, da 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 da. It was like one of those type things. But at the same time, I had 2 children that if I got $300 left for the month, then that's what I have to do with. I have to do it. Mm-hmm. So when you say now could,
but as I say that, excuse me for interrupting. Yes, single woman, 2 children, with a job, with a purpose, with focus, and like, hey, maybe a slow Wednesday, but we're gonna be okay next week, next month. You still can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Mm-hmm. When I say broke, I mean, when you can't. Well, I don't want to get dramatic or nasty, but right. You know what broke is.
No, and I get that, but I'm just saying. Now you could have seen that as, oh, this girl is a broke chick. Because I didn't really even have to say that. I could have just been like, no, I'm not coming.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I just want to be honest with you. Like, if it's raining, my back tires, if it's a sunny day, I'll come because I knew the tires weren't going to be that bad.
So
I could still drive on them.
I was dating a woman who can only drive when the sun is shining. Unfortunately, we're in California. The sun shines a lot.
Most days. So I was good, but just this particular time, it happened to be raining. So I'm saying, there's been times
it's a reason
where I'm just not going to do, and people may look at you as broke though. So it depends on your definition of broke.
Okay,
like if you ain't got no money, you ain't got no money.
So and ain't nothing coming in, and you ain't working. You don't know nobody with money. You don't sleep in your own bed. You don't have an address. You don't have a PO box. Like I say, if you got a car, it ain't running. If it's running, you need gas. If you got gas, you didn't make a payment for the last 3 months. All of that, y'all know broke. You know what I mean?
No,
y'all go out,
and I get it, but I wanted to make that
clear.
Point just for people who are like that in between phase, that they may be like, I ain't really broke, but
now, I didn't think she was broke, but she's so doggone cute. Who gonna say no to this? No, but I hear what you're saying. But yeah, let's make the difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So ain't got a job, ain't looking for a job, didn't have no job. Like I say, couch to couch, relative to relative. Mm-hmm. Won't even work at 7-Eleven. When your options are small and shrinking, you know what I mean. You ain't got to be too picky. A job. I mean, years ago when life was rough, I mean, RUFF rough. I remember, I got a job doing some security work. Yes, they made me a supervisor, but I don't care. I was a little ashamed because and it's not like, look, there's no shame in work. All work is honorable if you're doing honorable work. I get that,
Absolutely.
but when you're used to making a certain amount of money, six figures or and above, or whatever normal is what's normal for you. I wasn't about to let none of my friends see me with a little security patch on my jacket.
That's so jacked up. Like,
And it lasted for 6 months. And don't get me wrong, my ego's not that big. It's really not. Well, maybe it is.
kinda
But
is.
but the fact is, I was disappointed for Sharyn because I know I've done better, been better, and I said, but life is life. It was after 9/11. The world had changed, and wow. What used to be is no more. But I knew, I'm healthy enough. I can get out there. Like I said, I was just getting ready to put in an application at 7-Eleven. Who's on the Slurpee machine? Sharyn. And it didn't happen, but you understand what I'm saying. Things came back, and one led to two, two led to four, and I got back on the saddle. But I'm just saying, there's people. I wasn't that person. You still got a home, you have some savings, but you've been through that. You ain't got a woman no more because you don't. You know what I mean? So
you broke.
Yeah. I ain't say you gotta have money. No, quite frankly, she died. You know what I mean? So I was, it was a long time ago. But on the same token, where you are is where you are, and you know how you got there. But staying there, do you want to stay there? It is no shame in the game to say, hey, I'm between jobs, I'm between opportunities, I'm between women, I'm between addresses. But when you see a person who's broke, who's constantly broke, ain't got no money, ain't nothing in their pockets but lint, honey. You know what I mean? And I just wonder, like, is that how you're going to go through the world? Mm-hmm. Now, what does this have to do with you? You may be dating one of those women. Because some of these women out here are just looking for an opportunity, sweetie. They ain't looking for a job. They looking for a good connection, and you may be it.
Absolutely.
So our question today is, will you date a broke person, a broke woman, a broke it, whatever?
Yeah.
Him, her, it, she, you know what I mean? And where's your sensitivities about that? Because anybody can have a bad patch, but sometimes people just having a bad lifetime. Like, I ain't seen you in 4 years. You was humming and bumming then. Now you broke. Now you know what I mean? So when does it end? Right. So that's our question. Will you date a broke woman? If not, why? The second part of the today is,
the second question is, will you date a broken person? Now, what we mean by that is,
so when we're saying broken, 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 that's a whole different thing. This is a different situation. It's a different state. We're talking when a person is spiritually broken, when they cannot, will not, or choose not to plug into life, or been disillusioned with life, or so they're just not whole anymore.
Right.
Their whole belief system has been broken, and they are too. And that's a whole different picture. And I think if you run into somebody who's been broken for whatever reason, you can see it.
It could be a past relationship, relationships with their family, just something they just don't feel like they equal up to in life, or any and all of that.
Or have had so many tragedies that they no longer can navigate life on life's terms.
Yeah.
And see, when you meet people, again, you don't know where they just came from. You don't know where they're going. All you know is that you have this moment in time with them, and you see what you see. As simple as that.
Right.
They are they are who they are, but like, again, freeze frame for 1 second. You don't know if they've been like this forever, for 6 months, just happened last week, or unpleasant story, but true. This young lady I know who was a exotic dancer, and that's code for stripper, but beautiful, flawless, beautiful black woman. And so she worked at one of the local joints. And in any event, I had known her in passing, no romance, but just we became friends even. Well, what happened was she had gotten a phone call. This is back in the day, not even cell phones. This is pagers. Gotten a call from home. Her sister, her sister, who she was like, it was like 18 months difference between them, but the sister had been found in an alley. She was raped, beaten, killed. She had to go home. I think she was in like from Washington State or somewhere. She had to go home and help console her mother who lost a child, deal with it herself as she lost her sister and the family stuff and finances and everything. She gets through that some kind of way, comes back to San Diego. 2 weeks later, her mother drops dead from a heart attack. She was done. She was done. She was done. And I'm going to tell you, and I feel bad, I don't know what happened to her, but when I saw her return, she was just a different person. I believe she was broken. I mean, she just did not have it in her to get back up and get back out there into life as we know it. And sometimes things hit you with such a dramatic 1, 2, you don't even hear the third punch. It's 1, 2, you're out. Something so extraordinary, so negative, so sad, so it's just too big to put your hands around it, your arms around it, your thought around it, more or less your heart. So sometimes, if you do come across somebody who is broken, you don't know what has happened in that person's life to leave them in the position in which you found them. So no shade on anyone, but today we're talking about, hey, will you date a broke person, or can you deal with, someone who is broken?
Right.
All right. And don't act like y'all don't know what we're talking about, because some of y'all are dating broken women, and we see it, we hear it every day.
Every day. Y'all be in our DMs with your story.
Yeah, go ahead.
What would you date? A broke or a broken person, or both? Neither?
No. I mean, in hindsight, I think I have it somewhere in my travels and my trials. I think I've dated at least both of them at least once. Okay. Now, see, with me, broke is temporary. If somebody come up to me, well, they can be.
Yeah.
One, chances are I can do something about one quicker than the other. Because if you are broken, and sometimes a person could be broken and you don't know they are. You just say, I don't know what's going on, but she doesn't seem whole, healthy, focused, loving, kind.
Well, I think that's why you think you could do something quicker with a broke person rather than a broken person, because you can see that quicker.
Yes.
Versus a person who's broken in their, their stuff may not show for another year or so while you all together. But at the same time, they're both, for me, could be temporary, because you can work on both of them. The person can get whole and healthy, or, figure out their finances. But a person who's broke at a certain age, I think that's where they want to be. And you trying to help them in their financial situation could be a strain on you as a person. If they don't want to grow, there's too much information out there. Financial literacy is everywhere. And for them not to grow and want to do better, or, I can see if they say they're broken because they keep investing in different things and it may not work out, because at least they're doing something to try to, grow their money. Right, exactly. But on that other hand, if you just living paycheck to paycheck and you at a certain age in life where you shouldn't, it's just a certain time in your life where things should be getting better. And for me, that's the way I look at it. Now, if the person is broken, depending on what they are, if we're in a situation with, similar to what you were saying with your friend, that happened to her, it's like, how do you begin to help a person to restore themselves from being broken? Because one, you haven't been through it. Two, it's like, it's just devastation upon devastation.
What can you do? Right. Yeah.
Some stuff you gotta walk away from, whether they broke or broken.
Exactly. Hey, I can't help you. You know what I mean? And a lot of us won't do that, because, especially as women, we're groomed to be able to, like, what's wrong, sweetie?
Yeah, exactly.
Let me help you. Let me make it better. But that's the thing.
Just giving them, like, a broke person, you just kind of give them some money and, like, hopefully this helps. It's like, no, if they don't know what to do with it, it's not going to help.
No, I've helped many people with their resume. You can help somebody with their
mortgage. You can help people with it. But if in another year they're gonna be back in the same situation. Oh, can you pay my mortgage this month, and I'm gonna have to pay you back. Like, you have to teach them how to do that. But if you don't know it and they're broke, then it's probably you need to walk away from each other.
Yeah, but who helped you? You know what I mean? When people, like I said, you can't give it, unless it's been given to you. You don't recognize it. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I think everybody's okay. Like, why can't you afford the $1,100 for us to go down on the little trip down to Baja and stay for 3 nights? You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, because I'm broke. You know what I mean? You don't even want to hear that because you thinking you okay, she okay, everybody here okay?
Right.
Not so fast. The other part, as we always say, you don't know until you know. Mm-hmm. Because so many people, as they say, can you please present? Can you please send your authentic representative down here as a fake Jake? You know what I mean? Because so many people are faking it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
So
and we have friends, buddies, associates. I mean.
Yeah,
right? We're faking
but even
it.
Even with that, when we look, when I personally look within, I've been on both sides as well, and still probably more on that broken side with other issues that come up that you don't even know is an issue until it comes up. You know what I'm saying? So, I've dated women who have paid stuff for me because, like you were saying, you don't have the $1,100. No, I got enough to pay my mortgage.
Right, the kids are fed, and I got gas in the tank. Right,
and get to work for the whole month, and that's just about it.
Ain't no fun money.
At the same time, exactly, and at the same time, would they consider that as me being a broke person? It could be. I don't know. What is broke and where are you? Because where I stand, if I got money to get to work for the month, feed my kids, pay my mortgage, and I'm not getting help from the government or anything like that, that's good. A win-win for my situation because of where I've come from. I see my family as everybody, getting help from the government, working this odd jobs and doing this, that, and the other. And it's like, okay, but I know I'm doing better than most people in my family.
Right. So, it's all relative.
So you kind of have to figure out where you're measuring that from and where you're measuring the brokenness from.
Yeah.
Because
if you even get to know about it, because sometimes we can be so dismissive. Like, I don't know what's going on with the sister, but she don't seem like she's ready for prime time. Like, as you say, but it's a no for me.
It could be how that person reacts to stuff. Like somebody who, your friend that you just gave as an example, somebody else may have been able to handle it like a champ. Or, you know what I'm saying, been like, look, Lord, whatever your thing is, I'm going on, you want me to live or whatever. Another person may not, could have fallen.
They're done. That's right.
It just kind of depends on what the situation is and how strong that person looks at it.
As you can see, Rose and I have different perspectives on it, but you're absolutely right. There's no right or wrong. It's just like I appreciate your insights and experiences, and I don't think I'm hard-headed Hannah about it, but I just there's people out there sometimes will be trying to scheme you and game you and stuff like that. Yeah. And I mean, no, I don't think my reputation is that I'm cold and unfeeling. And I'll give you a chance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'll give you a second chance. But if you're trying to get over, I'm not the one, because we're done. Right. We are done. Right. If you think you slick, and I'm from the streets of North Philly. I know I've seen slick. I've seen some rough games played.
Still dealing with slick.
So again, as we say, and excuse us for defaulting to this, is like I said, you don't know till you know. We are women. We are oftentimes we are just so used. The first thing we want to do is, if I see somebody I've met and like, or interested in, how can I help you? How can I make it better? Oh, look, you look like you're having a rough time. You can stay here for a couple of days, which turns into weeks, which turns into months. Sometimes we're too kind.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, especially her, because I remember we met a couple. And I set it up because they had reached out on Facebook, like, we want to meet new people, whatever. So I'm just like, we're up for meeting new people too.
Right. Let's do lunch. We're in the same zip code.
So we met up with them. They were, young couple,
younger than us.
Young couple. Yeah, younger than us. And I saw it from jump, day one. Wifey over here, they started having problems.
No. They were already having problems.
Well,
we merely got
introduced
about
the problems
to the bullshit that was going on.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
and so she want to help one, and just because one gets to her ear first, she believes them, and I'm like, babe, it's two sides to every story, and you just listening to one. And so it was just back and forth, and I was just like, look, I'm staying out of it. So I just left it alone, and she was helping the girl, and
trying to, but it went from bad to worse to crazy to are you out your mind? And I had to let it go. And Rosa was like, Sharyn, I ain't falling for it. And when you meet people, you meet them and they partner, their sweetie, your honey, the wife, the husband, whatever. So Rosa and I are a 2-for-1 deal. We come together. Now, of course, she has some friends and associates that she's closer to than I am, and vice versa. But with this particular couple, I immediately liked one more than the other. The other one, it was almost at 40 paces you could smell the bullshit. It was just bullshit.
But I smelled it with both of them. The other girl had one too.
Yeah, too. But it seemed like I could just tolerate it more. And Rosa was just like, nix nay. No to all of it.
It was just like too much stuff was happening to her.
Yeah.
Every day. And Sharon's like, oh, well, today this happened. And, last week this happened. I'm like, how is all that happening to her? It ain't her fault. Like, come on.
Like, what storm cloud do you have over you that all these terrible things happen to you in San Diego all at one time?
Right.
So, yeah, and one can say, at least the old me used to be a sucker for a sob story. But I'm not stupid either. But I gave her every chance in the world, one, to come clean. If you need a new friend, maybe I could become that new friend. Mm-hmm. But it was so much bullshit on both sides. It was hard to decide. So we would Rosa and I just say, nix, we're done. We can't entertain your type of entertainment or bullshit. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
And we just
still calls Sharyn just once in a great while now. Yeah. She don't call her every day like she was.
No.
But and I'm not saying that to say, both of them were broke or broken or whatever, because I don't think broke was the issue.
No. They had some other dysfunctions that overrides the broke or broken.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I would say it that way. But in any event, again, you have no control who comes into your life, but you do have control over who stays in your life.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes you just like Rosa's like, oh well, this nice person and da 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 da. I can't wait for them to meet my wife, and I meet him. I'm like, yeah, what else you got? Because I'm not moved at all. And she might do the reverse to me, and that's okay. We're different people. We see different things. So I'm not poo-pooing her buddy. She's not poo-pooing mine. But we see what we see.
Right.
And every now and then I just have to throw up the sign, bullshit, on line 1, 2, and 3. Bullshit. And so, and then Rosa will see it or not see it. And the reverse is true too, because she calls me on my stuff as well.
That's so true.
Yeah.
But I think when we ask you the question as to will you date someone who's broke, I think it's a valid question, whereas you have to figure out if you were to date someone who is broke or even broken or both or not, neither one, or whatever it may be. But you have to know before you meet the person so that you know to walk away when you find out what you need to find out.
But how would you know? Again, you don't know. No, I mean you can have some sense of like when you talk to a person 4 times on the phone and then you have lunch with them twice or whatever the case may be.
Y'all know people got issues when you talk to them on the phone and you just think it's cute or something that they might have said, but in the back of your mind it's a red flag. It's like,
right.
She said what?
Right. Did she mean it?
Or you ask them something about their ex relationship, because that's one of the main questions we ask.
Yeah.
So when they giving the story and they talk about, I had to, choke them on.
Right. No. Then the cops came, but they arrested me, not her, because evidently I threw the first punch, and then when she threw my car keys.
It's all cute and fine and whatever, but it's like, this person might have some anger management issues or something that you don't define right then and there. So when you talking about how do you know, some stuff you just know.
I like it when the girl said, well, we never fight, but but she bit me, and then the other time when she took the knife, I was like, you didn't think that was violent? You didn't mean the knife, lady. You lost me at bite.
Exactly.
Okay, but when you said knife, but normal's what's normal for you. So it's just interesting. Again, when you come across these people, it's just we're not trying to throw people into different categories or boxes, but you that other sense comes out and just say, walk away, walk
Right.
away. This is not good. Or sometimes you can just meet people who just having a bad time of it. But then when you hear their story, you've been having a bad time for 13 years.
Yeah.
That is statistically that's almost impossible.
And that's me. When when I was dating, I knew that my money wouldn't stretch but so far. So you listen to the story. So some people were just broke for like a moment, depending on what the story was. I mean, you don't want somebody to be like, telling you their story and you're like, dang, you ain't never had money. If they said something about, lost my home, da 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 da, I invested in this and used to own a business, that they're broke for a moment because that person at least was doing something.
Right.
But when they're telling you a story and they ain't never really had money, they probably never really is going to.
And I would like to point this out. It doesn't have to be a love interest, somebody you're trying to check out or
Most
like.
of the time it is, and that's what we're talking
that's where
about,
you get
though.
weak at though.
Yeah.
I mean, but sometimes if you treat your friends a certain way and you treat your lovers a certain way too, I mean, somebody, oh well, she just, she can just. She's a sucker for a sob story with everybody, and I'd like to think of myself not being that person. But what right? But or like I got a friend a buddy, I've known her for over 30 years and never has any money. Never. I mean, this woman she's been broke for 40 years. So and that's like biblical. You know what I mean? That's like Bible broke. You know what I mean? You go out into the desert for 40 years. You ain't picked up the lunch tab in 40 years. One, I know better. I know how she is and who she is. And, I say I just love her past it. But sometimes we perceive people of having problems and you the one that got the problem.
Right.
Because, like, they doing okay with their life or their life doesn't seem to be problematic.
Right.
Like, what's your real address? Ain't got one. How do you get your mail? My friend got a post office. Well, not him. Well, his sister-in-law used to work for the post office, so I got it hooked up. Like I don't have to pay no money every month. You know what I mean? Like you live your life like that. You live your life like that. Some people do.
I had free cable back in the day too. I ain't even gonna lie.
And I am such a Girl Scout. I am not that person. When we used to have the parking meters and they say, oh, you got to put another 55 cents. I come down and put $1.55 because you are not going to give me a ticket over 55 cents. And I'm not trying to scheme. It's not the best use of my energies and talents. So for today in our little talk, and I didn't realize we felt so differently about it. We're talking about, hey, will you date broke or broken women? And if you have already, please share your story with us.
Absolutely.
Because if you've been out there in the world and in the game for a while, you done came across somebody who presented themselves as Cinderella. And she wasn't. So with that, I think we're going to leave you guys about right here with that. So y'all think about it. Tell us what's going on with you and how you navigated similar situations if you have. We'd love to hear from you. So until next time, like always, we are wishing you the very best
of all good things. Stay safe and stay woke. And this for all the people in Florida who think woke is not a word.
If you sleep, yeah, that's right. It's woke.
We love you.
Take care.